Mac Studio with M1 Ultra. Let me introduce you to the Mac Studio, a powerful machine for professionals and creators. Apple introduced the new Mac Studio with an all-new M1 Ultra chip at the recent Apple event themed Peak Performance. Along with the Mac Studio and the M1 Ultra processor, they also launched a 27-inch studio display to go with it. iPhone SE with A15 Bionic chip and 5G, iPhone 13 and 13 Pro in all new colors, iPad Air with M1 chip and 5G. Crazy. For this video, let's talk about this crazy powerful setup, the Mac Studio. This desktop device is targeted at studios where a lot of creating is done. Scientists, developers, designers, artists, photographers, video editors, and all sorts of creators with office or home setup. It's your public tech advisor. Let's get you up to date. The Mac Studio form factor is taller and thicker, looking like 3 Mac Minis put together. The box is compact, denoting seriousness in performance, modularity, and capability in personal computing. A lot of perforations for ventilations to dissipate the heat generated, and it comes with the studio display to complement the whole setup. Inside is a huge thermal blower to direct air around the processor from entry to exit vents. For input and output, it comes with 4 USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports, Ethernet ports, power, 2 USB-A ports, HDMI, and Pro Audio jack, Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5. In front, there are 2 USB-C ports and an SD card slot for maximum connectivity. It can support from 1 up to 4 displays with an 8K TV driving more than 90 million pixels. The studio display is designed to complement the Mac Studio in its full aluminum enclosure. The screen is edge-to-edge with narrow bezels. 27-inch expansive 5K Retina display that comes with still and height adjustable stands. There is also a VESA mount adapter that lets you mount the display in portrait or landscape. A 12 megapixel webcam, 3 mics, 6 speaker sound system with spatial audio powered by the A13 Bionic chip. For connectivity, there are 4 USB-C ports, one of which is a Thunderbolt port to connect to MacBook Pro, Air, Mac Mini, and other displays. This is the studio display, a companion of the Mac Studio. The performance is crazy. Mac Studio comes with either M1 Max or the all-new M1 Ultra. And the M1 Ultra is like 2 M1 Max put together, connected together with the bridge Apple calls Ultra Fusion. 20-core CPU, crazy. 64-core GPU, bananas, making it double the performance, power efficiency, and unified memory capability. Compared to other Mac desktops, the CPU and the GPU performance of the M1 Max and the M1 Ultra Mac Studio outpaced all others in the desktop lineup. Whatever applications you use, be it NASA Tetris, Houdini FX, Adobe Photoshop, Vectorworks, Affinity Photos, or graphics-intensive applications like Final Cut Pro, Compressor, Boris FX, Cinema 4D, and DaVinci Resolve, up to 8 TB of SSD storage, 64 GB of RAM for the M1 Max, and 128 GB RAM for M1 Ultra Mac Studio. And that is the Mac Studio with M1 Max and M1 Ultra to add up to the Studio Workspace. The Mac Studio with M1 Max, 32 GB RAM, 512 GB SSD costs $2,000, while the Mac Studio with M1 Ultra, 64 GB RAM, 1 TB SSD costs $4,000. Designed to work with Magic Keyboard, mouse, and trackpad. For a complete minimal setup, the Apple Studio display is $1,600. You will need a Thunderbolt 4 Pro cable 1.8 meters long to connect to it, and it's $130. Magic Keyboard with Touch ID and numeric keypad is $200. Magic Trackpad is $150, and or Magic Mouse that costs $100. Now let's total all that up. And that brings us to about $4,200 for the M1 Max and $6,200 for the M1 Ultra complete setup. Available for delivery from March 18th when you order. This is the supercharged desktop PC for the studio of tomorrow offered by Apple. What a time to be alive. Now it's your turn. Tell me what you think down in the comments. As usual, it's your public tech advisor. Thank you for watching. Until the next one. Cheers.